up guys, my name is Oleg, welcome back to the channel, and if you're new to the channel and like the content, please subscribe. In today's video I'm going to review Hamilton Khaki Navy Sub Auto Chrono. That's right, that's all a name of this watch. Now until very recently I had no idea this watch existed, and after I found out and wore it on my wrist for 1 week straight for this review, I can't stop talking about it. In my opinion, it's one of the best value for money watches out there. Let me list you some specs. It comes from a well-known, respected, and horologically important company, Hamilton. It's a fully automatic chronograph. It's Swiss made. It has a fully stainless steel case with a water resistance of 300 meters, it has a sapphire crystal, and it does feel like a proper luxury Swiss made watch. All of this for under $1,000. In fact, I've seen some of them go on eBay for around $800 to $900. In my opinion, that's a deal of a century. Big thank you to my friend Aldo for lending me this watch for a review. As you can tell, I am very excited about this watch. I'm very excited about sharing it with you. So let's get started with the review.
All right guys, so in this box lies one of the best value for money watches out there. And I would argue it's probably one of the best, if not the best, value for money chronographs out there. So let's open the box and see what's in it. So inside this paper box, there's another plastic box. I'm gonna go through this part quickly because it's the least interesting part of the review. We also have a instructions manual at the bottom here. I'm not gonna go through that, of course. Now open this box up, and here is the watch itself. All the packaging is done really well, up to a Swiss watch standard, and for $1,000, it's actually pretty incredible what you get in this package. But we're getting a bit ahead of ourselves. So first, let's start with the case dimensions. There's a case diameter of 43 millimeters, a lug to lug width of 50 millimeters, a lug width of 26 millimeters, and the thickness of about 16 millimeters. So we have an all stainless steel case with a stainless steel case back. It's a screw down case back with this very nice etched, I'm not sure what that is actually. Maybe it's this way, I don't know. Kind of looks like Bond's butt if he was also flying, maybe? I don't know what that is. If you guys know, let me know in a comment section below. But nevertheless, all stainless steel case with screw down pushers for the chronograph function, and I'll show you what that looks like in a second. We have a 120 click unidirectional bezel. The bezel action is very nice, very smooth. No back play, sorry, and it feels pretty good, fairly satisfying. However, it's not the best bezel action that I've experienced. It does feel a bit too clicky. It has a bit of an interesting design. So it wants to be a round case within this kind of a square almost shape shell. It's an interesting design choice. I like it. I think it looks cool and looks different, but some people might not like it, and you can kind of see through these holes here. So again, kind of an interesting design choice. It works for this watch, but I can understand if you don't like that design choice. Another negative or perceived negative of this watch is the fact that you have to buy custom straps for it. The strap itself is very nice. It's very soft rubber. It's done really well. It's exactly what you would expect on a Swiss made kind of luxury watch. It's done really well. It's very soft, very flexible, and it feels nice and secure on the wrist. However, the strap is very hard to exchange because of the design of the case and overall design of the watch. So I think that's a pretty big negative actually, because I like to be able to change straps within the watch, and also you know what happens when this strap wears out. So if you are picking one up, I would recommend maybe buy another strap online as soon as possible. Just have it in the back of the watch box, just in case something goes wrong, you have a spare, because who knows how long this watch will be in production until it's discontinued, and then what are you going to do without the strap? Now looking at the buckle, it's done again really well. It feels really good. Kind of matches the overall aesthetic of the watch. Very aggressive, very kind of over the top almost, very robust. Looking at the dial here, we have 3 sub-dials, a date window, and of course the chronograph seconds hand. So let's start off with the date window. The date window is between 4 and 5 o'clock. Interesting choice. I could have done without a date window and not broken the overall symmetry of the dial, but at the same time, I don't mind it too much. We have the Hamilton logo at the top by the 12-hour position. It says automatic there. Arabic numerals for our markings. However, for the 12 o'clock position, we have a 0 instead of a 12. I do like the set of hands that we have here. They're kind of square hands, but they do go all the way to the minute track, and I really like that because it makes it much easier to tell the time. By the 9-hour position, we have a seconds track, the seconds hand. That's actually the seconds hand for the watch, because this hand here is for the chronograph, and then these 2 sub-dials here are also for the chronograph. So we have the minutes track and the hours track, and the chronograph does go up to 12 hours. The inner dial does have kind of a carbon fiber finish to it. I don't think it's an actual carbon fiber, just made to look like it. For $800 US, you're getting a brand that has a lot of heritage, that has a lot of horological important value, one of the most well-known companies in the world. Hamilton. We're not talking about some small micro brand. Again, nothing wrong against micro brands, but they haven't stood the test of time like Hamilton has. And of course now Hamilton is part of the Swatch Group, but some people like that as a plus, some people take it as a minus. Nevertheless, it is still a very important watch brand to the overall horology of watches. You're getting Swiss-made movement. Now let's talk a little bit about the movement. This watch has a Hamilton caliber H31 movement, which is a variation and kind of an upgrade of ETA 7753 movement. What they have done, they have increased the power reserve. So the power reserve of this watch is 60 hours. You're also getting 28,600 vibrations per hour. Now let me show you what the chronograph looks like. Very smooth. I love that sweeping seconds hand. On top of the fantastic movement that you're also getting that movement housed in a very robust, very secure case. As I mentioned, it's a stainless steel case back. We have a dead flat sapphire crystal with anti-reflective coating applied, and we also have screw down pushers, which gives this watch a water resistance of 300 meters. It also has the helium escape valve because of that high water resistance. Now, I don't know of another chronograph watch that has the horological importance of a brand that has this set of specs, that has the water resistance of 300 meters, and that costs under $1,000. I mean, guys, this is crazy. I can't believe I've never heard of this watch until now. So I am very, very impressed. And that's how the chronograph is stopped, and that's how it's reset. Now, I keep on praising this watch, but it is not perfect. So there are some negatives with it, and I wouldn't do my job without mentioning the negatives. One of the negatives I already mentioned, the fact that you can't easily exchange the strap. The second negative is the overall size of the watch. It's not gonna fit all people's wrists. The third negative is actually the color combination. There's actually a all black version of this watch. I'll pop that picture on the screen right now. As you can see, it looks pretty good, and of course I'll have all the links in the description below of the cheapest I could find these watches listed on the internet. But of course, do your own research if you are interested in picking one of these up. Now let's talk about this crown. The crown is at the 3 o'clock position. It is a signed crown with the beautiful etched Hamilton logo. The crown does fit the overall aesthetic of the watch. It makes the watch look more robust, and it's easy to unscrew. However, there's a bit of a negative with this crown, and it's how difficult it is to operate it. So unscrewing it, you kind of have to go all the way out. Now we're out. All right, so you can see that's not the easiest crown to operate. Now that's what the hand winding sounds like, and of course the movement is hacking. But yeah, the overall crown action, the crown feels solid and robust, but operating it is not the easiest thing in the world. So it's kind of a positive and a negative all at the same time. Because of the water resistance of 300 meters, you can definitely take this watch swimming and diving with you. And it does have a pretty good loom, so all the Arabic numerals are loomed, and the hands have quite a bit of loom on them. Let me show you what the loom looks like right now. It's done pretty well, however, the loom doesn't last that long. So overall, there are many pluses and some minuses to this watch, but in my opinion, value for money, especially if you like the design, you like the aesthetic of this watch, and you're just looking for a very robust watch to wear for everyday wear that's not gonna break down and that has a chronograph function. Value for money, this one is hard to beat. Alright guys, so here's what the watch looks like on my 7¼ inch wrist. It feels really good. It feels like a quality item on your wrist. It feels very solid, very heavy, but in a good way, kind of very well put together. It hugs the wrist really well because of the way the bracelet is pointing down, and overall it's very comfortable. However, there is one more negative that I need to mention, and it's the fact that this strap is a bit short. So as I mentioned, I have a 7¼ inch wrist, and that's how much of adjustment is still left. So let's say if you have a wrist of over maybe 8½ inches, the strap will be too small for you. I know that you can also buy a specialty bracelet for this watch, but you'll have to do a bit of extra research to find one. So just keep that in mind.
So that was my review for Hamilton Khaki Navy Sub-Auto Chrono. I know that name is way too long. They really need to work on that. I am obsessed with this watch. I really like it. I think it's a fantastic value for money proposition, especially if you think about how expensive automatic chronographs are in general. I mean, it's hard to find anything under $700. Now here you have something around $800 to $900 that is actually Swiss made and a well-respected company, plus 300 meter water resistance, plus a pretty cool design. Now for some people that might be a positive or a negative. I happen to like the design, and if I were to buy this watch, I would actually go for the black version. The orange one does look pretty good for summer, but I would prefer the black, kind of more subdued, less over the top design. I appreciate you watching until the end. I hope you enjoyed the content. I hope you enjoyed the review. By the way, Bond is doing much better this week. I think he's gonna make an appearance in the next video. He's just still resting right now. Thank you so much for all your wishes and all your kind words. I really appreciate it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.